everyone, welcome to epicspeak, where I help you engage in better English conversations. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about some common and useful idioms that you can use to express fear. Whether you're preparing for a competitive exam or simply want to take your English speaking skills up a notch, this video will help you. So let's get started. There are three idioms that you can use to talk about something that really scares you, terrifies you. They are blood running cold, blood freezing, and blood curdling. Look at some examples. My blood ran cold at the sight of a snake slithering into my bedroom window. I heard a blood-curdling scream in the middle of the night. My blood froze at the sight of a little baby on the terrace, unattended. Now, if you look carefully, these three idioms are actually variations of one idiom, and they have something to do with the temperature of blood. They come from the medieval belief that horror or fear had an effect on the otherwise warm blood that prevented it from fulfilling its function of providing heat to the body. Meaning, if you're really scared, your body temperature or your blood temperature drops. It's no longer warm, it cools down, or it even solidifies and curdles. You can use blood freezing or blood curdling as an adjective before a noun to say that something is extremely frightening or shocking, as in a blood curdling scream or a blood curdling sight. Another expression that you can use is to send chills up somebody's spine or to send chills down somebody's spine. So if something sends chills up your spine, it makes you feel very frightened. Now, I remember that the first time I saw a horror movie on screen was The Mummy, and I was about 14 or maybe 12 or 14 years old when that movie was released on the big screen. So the bugs from the movie Mummy, which burrowed into the flesh of people, those bugs, they legit sent chills up my spine. I had nightmares for days after watching that movie. I couldn't sleep for days. Another expression that you can use is to break into a cold sweat. Now, if you're very nervous or terrified of something, then you break into a cold sweat. For example, I broke into a cold sweat when the teacher asked me to get in front of the class and introduce myself. Or I broke into a cold sweat when the elevator I was riding in suddenly stopped and all the lights went off. The next expression is to make your flesh crawl or to make your flesh creep. Use this expression when something frightens you or disgusts you. For example, earthworms make my flesh crawl. This expression is usually used when you want to express horror as well as disgust together. The next expression is to scare the living daylights out of somebody. Use this expression if someone or something startles you, surprises you. For example, if your cousin suddenly jumps out of the cupboard and woos you, you can say, "You scared the living daylights out of me." The next expression is to make somebody's hair stand on end. Now, have you ever experienced anything like this? When watching a particularly creepy scene in a horror movie or listening to a horror story where you felt as if you had goosebumps all over your body or the hair at the nape of your neck rose. That makes your hair stand on end when you hear something really creepy or see something very, very frightening. I recently watched the movie Chori on Amazon Prime, and that made my hair stand on end multiple times. Not once, but multiple times. I think it was a very decent horror movie without unnecessary jump scares. The next expression is to be shaking in your shoes. Shaking in your shoes. You shake in your shoes when you're really terrified or frightened of something. Example, the boys were shaking in their shoes when the headmaster entered their classroom with a cane in his neck and a thunderous expression on his face. The next expression is to jump out of somebody's skin. Again, this is an expression that you can use when you are startled or surprised by something. For example, I jumped out of my skin when I heard my phone ring in the middle of the night. Obviously, it was very quiet. It was midnight and suddenly my phone rang, so I was startled. I jumped out of my skin. So shaking in somebody's shoes or jumping out of somebody's skin they have kind of an element of exaggeration in these idioms, and they lighten the tone of what you're saying. So use them only informally. Don't use them in very serious situations. The next expression is heebie-jeebies. This is a very weird word, and you can use it for very weird experiences. I don't know if you have dogs where you live, but there are quite a few dogs where I live in the street. They're street dogs, and they're usually quiet around the day, during the day, but around midnight, all the dogs together, they start howling. Not barking, they start howling in this sing-songy voice, all of the dogs together. That really gives me the heebie-jeebies when I hear it. So, when's the last time you had a hair-rising experience, or when's the last time something gave you the heebie-jeebies? Do let me know in the comment section below. I will love to read it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you did, share it with your friends so that it can reach more people. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.